here at the Wings of Strength headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm joined by Miss Olympia, Arnold Classic winner, Whitney Jones. Whitney,
Hello.
welcome to Digital Muscle.
Thanks, how are you guys?
All right, so what I think the fans want to know, with the Arnold Classic coming up, and you winning it only 2 years ago.
Yes.
Injured, by the way, you were coming off tell us about that victory that you had at the Arnold Classic.
Well, so in 2017, I had a pretty bad neck injury. Ended up having a 2-level fusion, so basically 12-piece metal cage that they surgically placed to put my neck back together. And as a result, everyone had counted me out. They said, there's no way with that type of injury and surgery, you're ever gonna get back to the stage. So I love a challenge and had surgery, rehabbed, on my way to the Arnold stage 4 weeks out, practicing my routine. I missed one of my crazy flips and tore my ACL and my MCL.
How long was the recovery?
So, well, there was no time to recover because I was 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
So, and there was just I wasn't backing out. It was like, this was my big comeback from my neck injury and neck surgery. So it's like, crap, what do I do? So, as any athlete, you don't give up and you decide you're gonna do a one-legged routine.
When you made that decision, did the doctor tell you no or proceed at your own risk?
Proceed at your own risk. My doctor knows I'm a little bit crazy, and he knows that he gives me his advice and his opinion, and he knows I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. So he basically said, I know you're not gonna tap out, and if you do it, you need to wear this full surgical metal brace. It's the only thing to give you any type of stability. So for my routine, I had to wear this heavy brace, which again, was another thing to try to come up with a one-legged routine in literally 3 weeks because you have a week of travel for the show. Obviously couldn't do much training-wise, but it was more focused on coming up with a routine that I could pull off totally from scratch. But that's where I feel like I thrive, under pressure, with challenges, and it makes you think out of the box and be as creative as possible. And so I came up with something completely unconventional and just wanted to show up. I wanted to show people I can come back from neck surgery. I kept my knee injury completely quiet and under wraps until I actually won. And then on stage in the interview with Arnold, he said, why are you wearing that big metal brace? And I said, well, I actually, from my ACL and my MCL, and I'm having surgery tomorrow, so.
By the time that you'd won that show, like you were over the injury, it seemed like you let out all the emotions, I think.
Yeah.
You might have took it all in. You have kids and you run a gym and you had this rehabilitation and then you had the sweet taste of victory. Mm-hmm. And of course, you could only enjoy it for so long because next thing coming up is the Olympia. And I'm sure in winning the Arnold, you didn't even have time to savor that because really the end game was the Olympia, correct?
Correct, yes.
So now how do you turn it off and turn it on again for that challenge?
Well, there was no turning it off. After literally, I flew home the next day after the Arnold Classic, had surgery, and the next day I was in the gym, lifting upper body, because now that my legs were still rehabbing, I still had to focus on training what I could. And honestly, for me, it's with everything. I set goals. After every Olympia, the very next Saturday, because we're done on Friday, I already have outlined what I want to do physique-wise, skill-wise. I set criteria for monthly goals, quarterly goals, and then of course my yearly goal to what I'm going to do to get back on stage for Olympia. So for me, it was no different. Flying home from the Arnold Classic, I knew it was going to be crazy to recover from an ACL surgery, and literally it was 6 months, almost to the day, that I would be stepping on stage for Olympia. But at least at Olympia, I'd have 1.5 legs, where at the Arnold, I only had 1, so hey, that's a huge positive.
Well, tell us about the Olympia experience then, because there has to be a balance. Was one sweeter than the other? Because winning the Arnold is one thing, but the Olympia is an entire different animal.
It was. I mean, honestly, the Olympia is the pinnacle. So to ever be able to hold the title of Olympia champ, like, I just get chills.
Do you know all the other previous winners before you won that?
Yes, yes. And the thing is, I was fortunate enough to compete with 2 of them, Oksana and Adela, which was amazing. And being a fan of the sport in general for years and years and years, and never even thinking, gosh, I'd ever be on the Olympia stage. Right. It was extremely surreal. Every Olympia experience for me it's very special because I feel like some people don't understand the gravity of being able to step on such an elite stage with, I mean, literally, I have chills everywhere, with the best of the best. And whether you win or lose, to be included, to be an athlete on that stage is something that so many people aspire to be, and to have that opportunity. So to be on stage multiple times is a huge, huge win for me. But to actually come out as the winner was, you can't even describe it. It's still, like, I can't even watch the videos of the interviews with Bob. Like, I'll choke up now. It brings me to tears because it means so much. There's so much work that us athletes put into each prep, sacrifice, and coming out on top, there's just nothing better.
Well, I imagine after the victory, overcoming the odds at the Arnold, winning that Olympia title, that would be the pinnacle. That's like the time to sail off into the sunset, because really, in a sport where you have multiple Olympia winners, you are one of the very elite, but now you have an X on your back, right? Like you can take the year off and pass the Arnold Classic, but now you got to go back. And there's word that Oksana Grishina is coming back. I believe she's won 4 Olympia titles. And there's word on the street that even Adela Garcia may be coming out. So the 2020 Olympia is going to be stacked. Is this what's going to get you out of bed?
Oh yeah,
the opportunity.
It already does.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, there's always competition, and you can't ever settle. You can't ever think that something will ever be handed to you. I mean, if you're a true athlete, you should never think that way, in my opinion. So there's always competition, but being able this year at the Olympia with 3 champs on stage, it's gonna make it very exciting, very interesting, and I love them both. I've actually reached out to both of them. I was talking through text with Adela today. Oksana, I know she had her little mishap with the knee, but she will push through. She's gonna be just fine. I know what kind of athlete she is, so I know we're all working to bring our best, and I'm not backing down. I mean, I love a challenge. It elevates me as an athlete to know, like, oh man, I like the pressure going in. I want that 3-peat title so bad I can taste it.
How long does a fitness competitor have on that stage to present their physique in the routine round?
In the routine round, it's 2 minutes max.
So
you can do whatever you want in 2 minutes. It could be a 30-second routine, I guess. They, it just can't go over 2 minutes, but you've got 2 minutes to showcase whatever style, whatever personality, skills, costume, your sass, your energy. So that's what's exciting, is especially if you look at Adela, Oksana, and myself, we're all totally different.
Is the physique round still judged? Are you coming out there in a 2-piece bikini and that's a round that's scored?
Yes, so at pre-judge we do our physique round. That's 1/3 of the score, and then the routine we do at finals. So we only do each of them once, and then of course the routine is 2/3 of our score.
And if you win this year's Olympia, what happens then? Because really, if you prove yourself once and you prove yourself twice, is this a situation where you have to go back because you're at the top of your game, or?
I don't know. I mean, there's no have to, I'd say. As long as I am loving it, which I don't see that stopping anytime soon, I would love to continue. I love, like I said, I love the challenge. As long as my body is holding up in regards to injuries and I'm feeling healthy, that to me is going to always be the determining factor. Because mentally, I feel like I could be on stage 80 years old, maybe in a wheelchair or a walker, coming up with some cattywampus routine. But at some point, you guys may have to tell me, all right, Whitney, you got to tap out. No more.
I heard for a lot of the fitness girls, because it's hard. There's a lot of elements, right? You got to look at your physique, and you have to diet, and then you got to work on your routine.
Oh, yeah.
Then you have to execute your routine, and you're executing it while you're dieted in this depleted state. What is the hardest part about being Fitness Olympia champion? Is there a hard part to it, or is this a labor of love?
It's both. It's definitely, you have to love it. Otherwise, to compete at this elite level, there's no other way that you could be on your grind and like killing it every single day if you don't truly have passion for it in your heart. And to do it correctly. I mean, if you want to just kind of go through the motions, yeah. But to be at the top, you've got to love it. And there's no easy way around it. I mean, again, like it's what all the other athletes in the other divisions, they're like, I don't know how you guys do it. You're so depleted, you do this, you're lean. So just flying up in the air 5-6 feet and then slamming on the ground, that hurts.
Well, we are
There's
going to
no
be
lying.
looking forward to seeing just that. September
Oh,
9th
yeah.
to the 12th in Las Vegas. Miss Olympia champion defending her title this
know it.
September in Las Vegas. For Digital Muscle, Whitney Jones at the
Bye.
headquarters of Wings of Strength.